What is going on, everybody? We have a 2007 Toyota 4Runner Sport Edition 4x4 with the 4.7 liter V8. We have some MORRflate quad inflation hoses. This is the 200-inch hose set. It will do all the way up to slightly larger than this 2005 Ford Excursion. We already have them hooked to all the tires. I'm going to drop the PSI to, it's at 40.9 right now. I'm going to drop it to about 15 PSI, and then we're going to run the MORRflate's new, this is the batch 1 of the MORRflate TenSix Psi Pro. It has a digital readout on it. So we're going to air down. This is how we're going to air down. Just going to open that coupler. And I already did the math. If you guys want to check out the longer video on YouTube, go ahead and go check it out on Antonio Claudio Michael's YouTube channel. That's about a 1 hour, 10-minute video. I show that compressor, the MORRflate Psi Pro, versus the ARB dual compressor in a head-to-head. ARB took 8 minutes, 10 seconds to air up from 0 PSI to 40 PSI. This guy took, right here, this guy took 6 minutes and 40 seconds to air up from 0 to 40. So the MORRflate is actually quite a bit quicker. Okay, we're at 28. So what I'm going to do, instead of the 0 to 40 PSI, we're going to do from 15 to let's do from 20 to 40. That's what we'll do. 20 to 40. It's going to cut the time down to and make it closer to about 2 or so minutes. So if you want to see the longer video, go ahead and go over to the YouTube channel. This deflation's taken about a little over a minute and a half, 2 minutes maybe. So 20.4. 20. We're at 20 right now. So here's the timer from the ARB when I did the YouTube video. So we're gonna reset this. It's 8 minutes, 10 seconds, 30 milliseconds. Reset it. I got it hooked up. We're gonna open the valve. So now the compressor is connected. The valve's open. The compressor is also reading 20.9. This guy's reading 20.7, so they're pretty close. We're going to set this up to 40. Remember correctly, 41 helped. There we go. I'm going to bring you guys back when the stopwatch is done and the compressor's done, and I'll give you guys the time afterwards. It turns off to check the PSI to make sure it's working correctly. Alright, so we're back. The MORRflate TenSix Psi Pro is showing 40.9. This gauge is showing 40.2. So they're pretty close. That was a total of 2 minutes, 43 seconds, and 84 milliseconds. Not too bad at all. I'm going to change all the setup, deflate the tires again, down to 20 PSI, and then we're going to run the ARB. Disconnected. It has equalized all 4 tires to 40 PSI. The TenSix has been removed. It's sitting over here, unplugged from the battery and everything. And I have a plan on this guy. I already spoke to Tyler, which is who makes the compressor and the MORRflate products. I'm gonna cut these ends off and put Anderson connectors on that, because I'm gonna be installing an Anderson connector right here. So I can quickly hook up a jumper pack. I can quickly hook up that compressor. Or my wife could, I'm also gonna make a little extension where it's gonna go from an Anderson connector to a little bit bigger clamps, so I can re-hook the clamps back up to an Anderson connector I'm going to install on these wires. And then, you can either use a clamp with the Anderson connector, or you can plug it directly in here. So we're going to air this down, bring you guys back when it's aired down, and I'll give you guys the time. We are at 20.2. It's close enough. It took 2 minutes, 3 seconds, and 92 milliseconds. So it's about 10 psi per minute, and probably about the same for the MORRflate compressor right there, about 10 psi per minute. ARB on the YouTube video actually did worse. That guy took 8 minutes and 6 minutes and 40 seconds from 0 to 40. ARB dual compressor took 8 minutes, 10 seconds from 0 to 40. So we're going to find out what it takes on this guy. It's equalizing all the tires. That's why it's building back up. But we're going to start the timer again. 2 minutes, 33 seconds for air down. Dual ARB is running. It's hooked to the bumper. Timer's running. Because I have this ran through the bumper. It's coming out to this hose right here. So that setup is not complete yet. I'm still waiting for the PTFE braided hoses. These guys right here to show up. And I gotta remount the solenoid. So I got a bunch of stuff that I need to do. I'm just waiting for braided lines that have JIC4 fittings. And then I can hook that up, make it permanent. The tank, the 1 gallon tank underneath right there is it's not attached yet. So I'll bring you guys back as soon as it's done. We're at 1 minute. All right, so with the ARB, we are back to 40 PSI, 40.1. It's equalizing. It might drop or it might go up. I can easily turn that compressor back on just by sliding this collar open, as you can see, like that. So the total time for the MORRflate was 2 minutes and I think, I can't remember, but it was 2 minutes and like 8 seconds or something like that. For the dual ARB with the quad tire inflation setup, see the 2 tires on this side, 2 tires connected on this side. To get from 20 PSI to 40 PSI, we're talking about 4 minutes and 8 seconds. So the MORRflate is about 2 minutes faster no matter what. From 0 to 40 PSI, the MORRflate TenSix Psi Pro compressor did it in 6 minutes and 40 seconds. The ARB dual compressor did all 4 tires from 0 PSI to 40 PSI in 8 minutes and I think it was like 10 seconds, something like that. 8 minutes, 8 seconds, something like that. So the MORRflate is definitely quicker than the ARB, no matter if you're doing it from 15 PSI to or 20 PSI to 40 or 0 to 40, doesn't matter. Most average off-roaders are going to go about 11, down to 11, and go, when they're off the trail, go back up to about 35. So it's just rough testing, guys. Hope the video was helpful. And this is pretty easy to turn the compressor back on. Turn it back off. That is it, guys. So, turn that guy off. Hope the information was helpful, everybody. Comparison between MORRflate and ARB. The ARB is MORRflate's for my wife's vehicle. The ARB is for mine. See you guys on the next one. Peace.